Good evening. I'm glad you guys are here. You are on Know Your Purpose with Dr. Stacy Venable. I have a very special guest here tonight. Miss Mita's here. Shoe Diva in the building. In the building. We have Miss Mita here tonight to talk about her purpose and her vision, all the wonderful things that you've been doing out here.
I'm trying.
You trying? Well, the reason why I brought Miss Mita on because I have known Miss Mita, the Shoe Diva, for over 20 plus years. She is one of my favorite people in the world.
You already know.
If you know, right?
Yes.
So we have came a long, long way, and we both have hit milestones.
Absolutely.
We both have grown through these milestones.
Absolutely.
The great thing about it is we both have stepped on the empire of entrepreneurship. And it has been something.
Yes.
It has been really something. And right now, knowing your purpose is just something to where we're just going to go and we're going to tell our viewers about what we have done to know our purpose and how we got there.
Okay.
Our vision on how we got there, how we walked in it, the good, the bad, and indifferent.
Yes.
Some people say ugly. The indifferent, we'll use
Uh-huh.
that piece. And then we're going to talk about some signs that we faced, knowing that we knew our purpose and how we know we got there, because I'm still having some issues knowing that I'm there, because I want to keep and continuously build. So those signs, like I said earlier in my early interview with my son, those signs change. Those visions change.
Absolutely.
And as they change, we change. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then sometimes we add, sometimes we take away.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we want to talk about your purpose and what brought you to your purpose on all the wonderful things, because I know you as a model. I know you as we both have shared that. I know you as a fantastic mother. I know you as a big way maker in the medical field. I mean, I know you from a lot of different journeys that you walked on. But the Shoe Diva world is where we both kind of like took the initiative and fell in love with the Shoe Diva world. So that right there is near and dear to me, because as you know, as our model, I only wear your shoes.
I love it.
I was just sharing with a friend today. I told him, I said, I have a shoe room. He said, I don't doubt that. I said, it's not for the faint.
You know.
It's not for the faint. It's not for the faint. It's not for the weak to know that.
Absolutely.
But share your journey with us.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. Couldn't think of nobody better to kick off my first show.
This logo, I was like, oh, this is bomb. Like, it's everything.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, she's really, really changing the game.
I'm in it. I'm in it to win it too.
I want to tell you, first and foremost, I'm super proud of you.
Thank you so much. It's been a long journey.
I will say, you've come a long way.
Absolutely. It has been a tremendous journey. You've been there through the ups.
From the streets of Edgewood.
From the streets of Edgewood. Who would have imagined?
Behind
Giant. Basketball court was our location.
And some people really don't know that I've lived there before. They're like, but you've lived in the city all your life. Yes.
Yes.
I moved to Edgewood. I stayed out there for a couple of years. I graduated from high school out there.
Yes.
And
go Rams.
Yes, because I was one of the managers of the basketball team. So yes, I did. I did love it. That's where I met my oldest child's father. But it's been a long and peaceful journey. So
peaceful journey.
I can say I'm thankful for everything that I went through. Mm-hmm. For starters, I want you to die whatever you want to ask. Listen, I'm ready.
So you ready?
Yes.
So let's talk about how you started your first walk into entrepreneurship and how you started that.
My first walk with entrepreneurship was probably back in my son is 1999.
1999. That was a good year for me.
Listen,
that was a good year. That was a good
1999 when you I'm gonna say I was out there, and I mean out there.
Yeah, sure.
Enjoying the fast money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm not afraid to share because of the fact that I know where I've been, I know where I'm going, I know what the future holds for me.
Absolutely.
So I was enjoying the fast money. I did a lot of party promotion.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say I'm gonna say again the fast money.
Right. Yeah.
No, for those that are watching, no, I was not a hustler. I did not do anything illegal. Just so let's put that out there.
That hustle, that word hustle means a lot of different things and a lot of different avenues. I'm glad you specified because it does mean hustle. The hustle means different. Okay.
At all.
I'm glad you clarified
now, did
that.
I share my skills? Yes. I showed my dancing skills.
Okay.
So I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Very nice dancing skills at one time, but
sure.
That journey is over. I was thankful for the journey because it opened the door for a lot of other things.
It does.
I'm hosted at a lot of parties, birthday parties, events galore. Which opened the door for bigger things. I stepped into what I thought. I said, well, maybe I don't need this nightlife. The nightlife wear you out after.
It does. It does. It's not for the faint.
I stepped into being a correctional officer.
Let's talk about that and how you merge from that into the next.
And I don't know why, but you know what? It's something about when you know, and I'm going to take a step back.
Okay.
I've been modeling since I was 10.
Wow.
My mom was a model since I was very young, and I just liked everything about what she did.
Of course.
I liked the changing of clothes, the costumes, the heels, the hair, the makeup. I loved everything about it. So my mom had got me into it. And for some other reason, everything that I did drew me back into fashion, drew me back into modeling. So I said, okay, this must be my purpose.
Okay.
It really must be.
Okay.
I then went from party promotion, CO, hairstylist, back to fashion, back and forth. And every road leads back to fashion.
Okay.
So I said, you know what? This is where I'm supposed to be. And even in the medical field, I've been in the medical field for 20 years.
20 years. That's a long time.
Even during those times, I'm still back modeling on the runways of New York.
Sure.
Coming back to Baltimore, runways in Baltimore. And it's just like, I love every bit of it. It's just like changing. I love the fact of being able to change women. I like being able to network with women. I love that women, when they're able to hit the runway, they have a different aura about themselves.
Yes. Hitting the runway. First of all, hitting the runway. A lot of people don't know the dares behind hitting the runway.
Oh yeah.
It's not all what it's cracked up to be.
It's not lights, camera, action as most people think it is.
It's not.
I will tell you in a funny story. Anybody that knows me knows something that I do before I hit the runway. I have done 20 million fashion shows as a figure of speech. But one of the things is, I don't know why I get nervous every time I
have literally took the runway or literally just did any type of modeling, even preparing for tonight. I'm a motivational speaker, so why would you be
nervous? It's just
absolutely. And you know, the greatest thing about it is all the things that you have moved through. When you don't follow your calling, that
will follow you.
It will, and it not only does it minimizes the things, your potential, if you don't follow it. Mm-hmm. It minimizes it. You know, you feel like you're missing something.
It will move everything that you're doing back to that.
It does. It feels to me, and when you don't follow it, you're missing out on something big. You know, being struck with that entrepreneurship or being struck with that purpose, and your purpose, it works in different ways. It works in happiness. Mm-hmm. It works in your health. It works in your relationships.
Absolutely.
Okay. So when you know when you're walking in your purpose, everything that you build that foundation around, you build it strong so it doesn't crack.
Absolutely.
But when you don't walk in that, you're doing a whole disservice to yourself. You're doing a whole disservice to yourself when you're walking around here with this mask on, and hey, listen, I can do this, do that, but I'm just tired here by this, so that way I can feel comfortable. Sometimes being uncomfortable is the best thing, and as being a model versus myself, getting in those shoes that are uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. You just want to look down that runway and you want to come on. And that runway, right when you get in the middle of it, it looks so far. And then when you don't follow your purpose or your potential that you have, that dream just goes further and further. And sometimes you even get this thing called tunnel vision.
Yes.
And I don't like going through the tunnels. I don't like going through any of the tunnels because I feel like I can't see the road ahead of me.
That tunnel is going to bring you back to that
absolutely,
first tunnel
absolutely.
I had a young lady that said to me the other day, she said, you know what, Miss Mita? She said, you really inspire me. She said, so what do you do when you're about to hit the runway? It's funny that we're talking about that. And she said, oddly enough, I listen to trap music. And I said, whatever works.
Whatever works for you.
Whatever works. Eases that nervousness.
Yes.
Do it. I listen to, crazy enough, I listen to Mary, Go Get It.
Okay.
That's my go-to because it's in my mind. I'm going to go get it. I'm going to accomplish and set forth what I came here to do.
That's right.
Which is kill it.
I'm on a mission. That's
what we're going to do.
I go in on a mission. Mm-hmm. I go in on that boss status.
And that's how you. And
I go in. I get it done. Execution is everything.
If you do not in your mind have a boss status, that nervousness is going to take over.
Absolutely.
And you're not going to know which direction to go into.
Absolutely.
Then nervousness is going to be on your face.
And that's the place you don't want it to be.
Absolutely
when you are doing this thing and you're out there. Mm-hmm. Fear should never be in the midst of that.
No. Not at all.
You know, back in the day when I was younger, my mom used to say fear shows the sign of weakness. Mm-hmm. And fear is a real thing. But when you're out there in this world of modeling, mm-hmm. which we've been there, when you're out here in this world of entrepreneurship isn't for everyone.
No,
it's not. I'm telling you, and
over this period, not want to be uncomfortable. Entrepreneurship is not for you. Modeling is not for you.
Absolutely.
Because it will set you outside of your comfort zone. It will challenge you to do the things that you did not know you were going to do.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that uncomfortability.
Oh yeah.
We've had coming from an improv neighborhood that we came from, it was always uncomfortable. There was always something going on. There was always something that was uncomfortable. But I just said the other day, I like being in uncomfortable situations. I've grown to love to be in uncomfortable situations because it challenges me to go out and do better. Yes. Because you're not have purely team. You're gonna always have that thing in sisterhood. You're gonna always have that thing that drives you to your purpose. Because a lot of the things that you don't like, mm-hmm. the places you don't want to go, mm-hmm. the things you don't want to talk about, those are the things that drive you even closer to your walkthrough. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about. Even though you've done all these great things, I know there was a time in your life where you fought that battle of cancer.
Yeah,
and you still you still knew your purpose in that, and you still are so driven in that. Let's talk a little bit about that and how that made you feel and you literally. I mean, there was times I had to leave and walk away from you to do my tears and my cries and say, you know what, this is my little sister. And there's many a nights we were on the phone, many a nights, you know, we were up in the morning. And I remember getting the phone call from you.
And it was, and I'll tell anybody, it was October the 31st, 2013. And it was the craziest thing. Because I said, this has to be either a trick or a treat.
Halloween, right? Yeah. Who gets that kind of news?
Who
gets that kind of news? Yeah.
Of all days.
I
knew something was wrong because a couple months before that, they kept taking multiple tests.
Okay.
And back then, you had to be a certain age to get a mammogram for your doctors to even okay the mammogram because of the insurance piece. Mm-hmm. And my doctor did all the paperwork. He did everything, did the biopsies and everything. Once they were able to give me the go-ahead with the mammogram, it was just only a matter of time.
Okay.
I had set in my mind that, God, whatever you're going to do, you're going to do best.
He knows best. He knows all things. He knows best.
You're going to make sure I stay here.
Absolutely.
If I'm not supposed to be here, my work is done.
Well done.
So there was when I first got the news that day, it was really, really rough.
Sure. I remember getting a phone call.
I called you.
I remember getting that phone call. That's right.
And, you know, it was just like, God, what did I do? What did I do? Is this your way of telling me, listen?
That question.
And I said, okay, I know you're not supposed to question God, but right now, this is God. This is
I don't now. I know a lot of people say you're not supposed to question him. I go before him with all questions.
Because I'm trying to understand.
Because he's the only one who's going to be able to give me the answer.
Yes.
So I go for, I beg the different one. Yeah. That why me is strong.
It was why me.
That why me is strong.
And then it was, okay, am I going to be able to withstand, to be able to take care of my sons?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You've given me these kids.
Mm-hmm.
And now.
Take strong women to raise kings too.
Right.
That's right.
And
that's
then
right. That's
it was,
right.
okay, am I able to be able to raise these kings?
Right.
Are these kings are they going to be able to live a life that I've set forth for them if I depart this life? That was tough to swallow.
I'm sure.
The chemo, the radiation, my son's watching me go through it. I knew, and I share this story with anyone. I have no problem sharing it with anyone. I was in a dark place one day, and I had just said, okay, you know what? This is beating me down. This is getting to the point where I don't want to do this. I was losing weight. My taste buds was just terrible. I just laid around. I was watching my kids cry. And I said, you know what? I'm going to make everybody easy with this.
Okay. All right.
I took some pills.
Wow.
My mother prayed. And I've never felt so defeated in life. Never felt so defeated. And I talked to my mom. I said, listen, just promise me you'll take care of my boys.
Right.
And she said, and I gotta get myself together because every time.
No, tell the story. This is knowing your purpose. And a lot of people don't think. A lot of people don't think that they see you in the magazines, right? They see your shoes. They see you in New York fashion. They see you on Baltimore lot. They see you in all these places, but they don't know this was a part of the journey to knowing your purpose. So you don't have to get yourself together. The truth in the matter of it all is this is what we have. This is the good, the bad, and the indifferent.
Yes.
So this is why I wanted to bring this show, because a lot of times when people see me, they forget about the Stacey Akins that struggled down in Edgewood. And they forget about the Stacey Spencer that struggled throughout the 15 years. They forget about that. So sometimes even when I take the podium, I have to remind people that if it wasn't for my past, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be walking in everything that God had already designed for me.
Absolutely.
So you going through that and you coming out on the winning, the victorious side, that's all about purpose.
I said to her, just take care of my boys.
Right.
Please, just take care of my boys. And she said, listen, we're going to pray about this. I said, I don't want to hear all that right now. I really don't. I don't want to hear all that. I don't want to hear none of that. I said, let me just be. And she said, just don't do it. And I said, listen, I'm over this.
Right. That over it point.
When I got off the phone with her and I hung up. So she was not happy. She called my phone a couple of times. I laid down, fell asleep. To me, in my brain, when you sleep, so you're like, oh, I'm good.
Yeah.
So in my brain, I'm like, okay, I'm thinking that I'm in dreamland, so I'm looking over my children. In actuality, I'm just really dreaming because I woke up.
Well, that wake up was made just for you.
I said
that wake up was just for you. I thank God for the wake up.
Listen,
I do. I thank God for the wake up.
And I'm thanking God now.
Yes.
I looked up at the ceiling. I said, God, didn't I tell you I was
ready? Didn't I tell you?
I said, I told you I was ready.
He wasn't ready.
And he said, not yet.
No, you still have purpose here.
Work to do.
Yeah.
And I cried and I said, I don't know what to do.
Oh, yeah. You knew what to do.
And I said, I've never been faced with something so heavy.
Right.
And I don't have, most of the things you go through, you have a little bit of control over.
Right. Yeah. Let's talk about that control.
This was something that I had to give to God and I had to give to somebody else.
That's
and
right.
Pray that it works out for the better.
That's right.
And when I slowly got myself together, I said, God, you spared my life again.
Thank you.
And I said, what I am going to do is every woman that I come in contact with, every woman that I encounter, I am going to let her know I'm your sister. We're going to do this together.
Yeah.
Have you had your mammogram? Do you do it self? Let your boo check you. If you don't want to check yourself, let your boo fill you up. Do he feel lumps in this left one or this right one?
Right.
Let him fill you up.
Right.
Go in the shower. Listen, do what you got to do. We're going to do this together.
So you took the triumph in educating other women about.
I'm educating, supporting. I'm encouraging other women that there's a life outside and beyond breast cancer.
Yes. And
you can live through it.
You absolutely listen. There's so many new things, But when you came through, a lot of people were saying that breast cancer was a death sentence, and it's absolutely not. It's absolutely not. And we thank God for that, and we thank God for the fact that now you build and you have a 501c.
501c3.
C3
Souls for the Cure.
Souls for the Cure. So that's another part of the entrepreneurship. So that's
During COVID, I wasn't able to do a lot with it because of the fact that a lot of people, and I do want to make sure that my breast cancer sisters are safe.
That's right.
So I didn't want to put them in an element where they were not safe. So I kind of didn't do as much stuff. Now that COVID is lifting, we're going to get back into
because it was so funny. It was so funny because we were about to collaborate to do something big for your 501c3, and then COVID hit. So we are still working on that. We're still trying to make sure that we partner and we do great things, because the biggest thing in me, and one of my biggest missions is to bring informative information to the community and bring informative information to people around us,
and to give back,
and to always give back. Always give back, because we came from, even though we came from improv, but my mom always taught us to give back.
And that's one blessings continue to come.
Always continuous.
I seen a gentleman just last week, and he was like, "So are you putting on that basketball game again this year?" I said, "Listen," I said, "I am going to do that. No matter. It does not have to be in the month of October.
Time for me to get my sneakers out."
Listen, you ain't playing no ball, but the fellas are going to support.
You're gonna let the fellas do it? Okay, well, listen, I'm still gonna come. I'm gonna still come ready with my Jordans on, and I'm gonna still come ready to support as always.
Because I said, men need to understand the journey.
Yes.
And when I had the basketball game before, the charity basketball game before, a lot of guys came out. A lot of guys had teams they supported. They wanted to do whatever they could. We was able to award a young lady $500.
Wow, that's good.
It's not a lot to some, but to some it's a lot.
It's a lot when you didn't have that. When you didn't have that $500.
You got to figure out, do I pay for my medication? Do I pay for my BG&E bill?
Right.
Do I feed my children? I do this. That's a lot. So whatever, and we don't ask what you do. We hand her the envelope, and whatever she chooses to do with it, whether you want to get a massage, you want to get your nails done, just pamper yourself, you're deserving of it.
That's just a little bit of what you have done.
I mean,
besides not only just the 501c3, but also the motivational speaking behind it, being on various television shows and things like that, just spreading the information. And that's something that we don't do enough in the African American world. We don't share enough. And I need to know from a sister what it looks like. I mean, books and pamphlets are okay, because that's the first thing they want to give you. They want to give you a book. They want to give you a pamphlet, but they're not telling you that you're going to cry through the night. They're not telling you that your support system that you thought you had.
That's why I dive in. I let sisters know, listen, we can cry together.
That's right.
What are you feeling?
That's right.
What you're feeling, I want you to know that I resonate with that feeling.
That is it.
Some people may say, you know what, I cry at night. I'm up. My sleep pattern is off. My hormones are up and down. Listen, we're going to talk about that. We go on dates where you may go downtown just to eat, walk around. Sometimes before we went skating, we did bowling, just a group of us just going bowling. Those are the things that I want to get back into now that COVID has set down, because of the fact that we need that togetherness.
Yes, you do. It helps with you knowing your purpose. When other people know your purpose, it tends to give you more energy to do just more constantly. One of the things that I wanted to talk to you about too was just trying to figure out how to have everything fit, because I'm telling you, I'm still trying to figure this thing out. I'm still trying to figure out, even though my children are grown, and I'm walking in my purpose. This is my season. This is my season. I'm showing it, and the reason why I started this podcast, to know your purpose, because I want people to see it. Some of the things that people do, they get into their purpose and they don't want people to see it. They don't want people to know how they got there. They want to take you. They want to show you how to do just a little bit.
But guess what? You have to understand, when you're doing that, you're being selfish.
Absolutely.
You're being selfish to yourself.
Yeah. It's absolutely.
anybody that asks me, am I able to get into this? How am I able to get into this? I share. I have no problem sharing. Sharing is caring.
Let's talk about that, Sharon, because within living your purpose, life takes a whole different meaning. It takes a whole different turn. Sometimes the feel of fulfillment even changes.
Mm-hmm.
So once you got there, let's talk about that Shoe Diva world. Because do you think that Shoe Diva world is what really puts you on the map?
Yes.
I was hoping you would say that. I was hoping you would say that.
Souls for Divas, even though I did a lot of runway modeling, it was like I was just a model.
Mm-hmm.
And I was okay with that for quite a while. But then when I got, when I fell ill to breast cancer, that's when Souls for Divas became the name.
So did you brand yourself or did you have a company come along to help you brand?
I branded myself because I wanted people to understand Souls for Divas came from the soul. And I thought about the sole of your shoe because that's all I bought when I was sick during the time that I was going through breast cancer. I bought 20 million shoes everywhere. I was in the mall. I was online. And I said, you know what? How can we change this? How can I fit this into what women need?
Mm-hmm.
So it's Souls for Divas specifically. My tagline, it says, oh my gosh, I got a brain freeze. Jesus Christ. And I always know my tagline.
You got to know the tagline. Crazy. You got to make sure you keep that tagline up.
Oh my goodness. And I say it all the time. Oh my goodness. Why am I drawing a blank right now? Part of it is dazzling your destiny.
Dazzling your destiny.
Because I want people to know it's not just the shoe that you're wearing.
Mm-hmm.
We want to work with what's going on in here too.
Absolutely. Comfort.
It's not just about walking on the runway.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about dressing yourself up.
Right.
This business, Souls for Divas, caters to the everyday woman. From the boardroom beauty to the club diva to the entrepreneur to the women that are at work that have a regular 9 to 5.
Right.
Even I'll say I have nurses that say, you know what, I need something because I'm going to an event. I style women. But I want people to understand that this was not easy to begin because I wanted people to know from something bad to something good.
Absolutely. This is why we're telling our viewers
it's amazing that I'm able to even say
right
first in public on this podcast today.
Okay.
Souls for Divas will celebrate 10 years this month in business.
10 years this month in business. That is amazing.
I would have never known.
I've been wearing your shoes for 10 years?
Yeah.
Wow. 10 years I've been wearing Souls for Diva. 10 years. I know within wearing your shoes, I just 2 years ago started being styled by you and also wearing your clothes.
I didn't even think it was even going there for. I was just like, let me just tell you. You was like, just do it.
Just do it. I took a quote. I took a quote from Nike and said, just do it. So I remember a couple of days we were talking on the phone and you were talking about dabbling in the fashion world, and you were already in the fashion world, but bringing your own line of fashion. And I said, why not?
And I was afraid to do it because I thought that, the industry was just saturated.
The industry is very saturated, but you were bringing something unique,
and I wanted to. What a lot of people don't know about Souls for Diva shoes, and you get so many, so
I know.
Get lost. I get lost. One of your shoe boxes.
I'm sure it is.
With every shoe that is purchased from this business, you get a card in there, and in that card is a motivational card.
Oh yeah, I still have mine. I still have mine. I still have all my cards
where it gives you motivation. So it's not just a shoe purchase.
That's right.
And I want people to know when you can look at that card, put it on your mirror and read it to yourself every day. I am beautiful. I'm a conqueror. I love me.
That's right.
Different quotes like that. I want women to understand because the world beats us up enough.
It does. Just being a woman, period.
We're challenged enough about the hair we wear, the nails we wear, the clothes we wear.
Absolutely. That persona of just trying to I tell you what, just this persona walking in this boss like.
Yes.
I tell you, it's not easy. everywhere I go, I got to make sure that my hair is done right, my nails are done, my clothes. So you helped a lot in that genre
And
with me.
I'm so glad that I was able to test it out with you first.
Hey,
she don't look good.
I was a willing participant. You know, I was a willing participant. I think at the first time I wore your clothes was for a photo shoot.
Yes, you did tell me that. Yes.
For a photo shoot, and it was one of the best photo shoots. I think it was one of the photo shoots that put me on the map. You know what I mean?
I was so nervous.
Man!
You said I sent you the pictures. I said, oh.
Soon as they were edited and ready to go, I was like, you know what? This means a lot, because I remember us being down in that valley.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where we didn't know.
And who would have ever known? I say this all the time. Who would have ever known the young lady that lived 3513 Park Heights Avenue?
Park Heights Avenue. Talk about it.
Never would have known in a million years the person that I am. The little girl that went to Dr. King, as a lot of people say it was Dr. Martin Luther King. It's called something different now.
Right.
But when I look back, and then I came to Edgewood and I said, you know what? Something has to change. I collaborated with so many great women that were able to show me the way, that said, you know, don't go this way, don't go down this road. You being one of them. I still try to be that great mentor to you and to a lot of the young ladies that came up with us. Directions all the time.
No, you didn't follow. No, you didn't follow. You didn't follow directions all the time. But I think when I met you, 2 cans